Welcome to Aware Minds YouTube channel. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, or just someone hungry for growth, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the 7 forces of business mastery by none other than Tony Robbins, a game-changing framework shared in his legendary business mastery seminars, attended by thousands around the globe. These aren't just tips. They're proven strategies to build an unshakable business, no matter what challenges come your way. So make sure to stay with us all the way to the end, because every single force is a piece of the puzzle that can take your business to the next level. And hey, don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts below. We love hearing from you. Let's jump in.
Today, you need a business map. A map shows you the territory so you can say, here's where I am, here's where I want to go. The map is only valuable if you know where you want to go and you know where you are. If you know where you want to go, but you lie to yourself about where you are to try and make it better than it is, you're never going to get there. Who knows what I'm talking about here? Say I. Your trajectory will be completely off. So we got to know where we really are. And so we're going to start that process here by asking a few of those 5 questions I mentioned earlier. And the first one we'll be tacking into in a few moments is, what business are you in? And then what business are you really in?
My name is Mayumi Young. I'm from San Diego, California. He asked people to share, and at first I didn't want to raise my hand.
A little sample. What business you in? How's business?
And then some part of me raised my hand for me.
How about this lady right here? Yes, ma'am. Give her a hand. Tell us what's your business and how's business?
So my business is, it's called CPA Moms, and the first question is difficult to answer because I've changed the business.
I stood up and said, well, I don't even know what business I'm in. I've tried this business, and then I changed it to this business, and then I changed it to this. And he stopped me immediately. And immediately the intervention began.
So when she says, all my pain comes because I can't make that decision, that's not the first time she said that. So all progress comes when we blow through the limiting story. So tell me, what is the benefit of your business?
Well, CPA Moms is what we call the eHarmony of the accounting world. So our job is to find talented CPAs who are underutilized, who are moms, who come back into the industry to serve entrepreneurs, providing affordable bookkeeping and tax solutions nationwide.
Okay, now how many think that there's probably a market for that? Raise your hand if you think there's a market for that. Okay, now, so here we have a great idea with terrible execution.
He started sharing with me things about my journey that the little bit that I shared, no one could know.
What's happened is she doesn't have the emotional juice in this because more fear is governing her than hunger. She's got these scabs of failure, which is something she does not associate to herself. She's an achiever. Am I right or wrong? Okay?
I felt for the first time that somebody really understood how hard this whole thing was.
The effort and energy in building something and people not showing on commitment, and you're dealing with moms who have a million things going in their life and they probably don't always comply at the same level because they've been out of the discipline of working for a while. And then you're trying to connect them, people who are expecting absolute exact results, and mother, how did I get myself into this situation? Right? You know? All right? This beautiful dream I had was going to fill this big niche that everybody here sees the niche also, but what the hell? And oh my God, I've gone through 3 iterations of this thing, and I don't really want this goddamn thing anymore. She has a child she doesn't want, but she doesn't want to give him away. How close am I to being accurate?
100%.
One of the questions I'm going to be asking you today is, what's your exit strategy? And many of you are like, exit strategy? I'm just trying to get it to succeed. But if you don't start with the end in mind, you won't get to that end.
What I discovered out of that whole stages of business is that, I stopped at the infancy stage in my first business. And I didn't know how to push through the first set of challenges that you come across and going from one stage to the next. It was very clear, it was crystal clear. That was exactly the point where I stopped. And not having a right mentor, not having the right coach, and the right knowledge and mindset more than anything, the psychology Tony talks about.
The deepest needs are to know that you're enough and you're loved. When we feel like we're not enough and we're unloved, we failed, we think unconsciously that means no love. She's in survival. So she's smart enough to make this thing work. It's just the one who's in front of me will never figure it out. But here's the good news. The one who's in front of me, the woman who's in front of me, there are many women that are available in the same body. Is there a crazy in there that could kick ass and take names? And is there a woman in there like that?
Absolutely.
Could I speak to her for a moment?
Yes, you may.
When he said, just exchange, don't change, I realized that all parts of me were valid.
Okay.
Get a mentor, get a coach,
Yes.
take that action. That's the first thing that needs to happen. Implement the 7-7.
Yes.
Get that in motion immediately. Put things in existence that we know need to happen.
Yes.
Look at what the vision of the organization is. Stop looking for answers here and start asking my team what the heck they want.
Yes.
And
Give her
ask the
hand,
clients
spot
what
on,
they
standing
want.
on, knows what to do. Now, by the way, could this woman run this business? This is the woman that's got you. You don't need to change yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You need to change. You don't need to change. You need to exchange. That woman can't run your business. She's a great lady, but she's not made for your business. She's been running your business too long. This lady can run your business. This woman knows what to do, and she knows, doesn't she? How many see this? How many see what I'm talking about right here? I want you to know what you're seeing right now may be equally important for you.
And there's no question in my mind, had I had this sooner, that my business I wouldn't be in this position right now. My company, I've made all my goals and me talking about the next level I'd be getting at. So this is the place to be if you want to grow your business and you're done struggling.
Business is innovation and what? Marketing. Most people think of innovation as a once-a-year rain dance where you try to innovate, and that's not going to happen. I want to create for you a simple way, create a culture, if you got 3 people or 3,000 employees, where innovation is done regularly and constantly, but in a way the customer cares about. If all you do is innovate, you're going to be out of business. Because you have to innovate in a way that's profitable, and you have to innovate in a way that the customer cares enough to pay for the innovation. If they don't, you're out of business. How many follow? Say aye. So I'm going to teach a checklist that'll make this so easy for you, and you'll use it once every 7 weeks. And that way innovation is not something you go, oh, we better innovate, or got to do something this month. It'll be systemic in your company, but also everybody will be part of the innovation team. Really simple, really fun. So we're going to focus here on what does it take to create world-class marketing? What is the unique selling proposition? What is what we call value-added marketing, VAM? Today, most people are sick and tired of advertising because where is it? Everywhere. In fact, I got a question for you. How many of you in this room do not even see banner ads anymore? Literally, it's there, but you don't perceive it. Like your brain literally washes it out. Raise your hand if that's true. Keep your hands nice and high and look around the room right now, and you'll see 98% of the people wash it out. So don't buy them unless you're going to create something really unique. It's a total waste of your money and your time in the world we're in today. Today, what creates marketing is when you don't just market, but you add value to people. You do something, you teach them, you give them an insight, you give something valuable that costs them nothing, and then they look to you as an expert. They look to you as a person that adds value. They want you to supply them more information, more experience, more products, more services. But the most important thing to start with is to understand the best salespeople are not trained, they're found. The best salespeople are not trained, they're found and then trained. If someone does not have the nature of sales and it's not in the core of who they are, you can have them talk to 1,000 people and they're still not going to produce maximum results. So if you have, for example, if you have someone who's an introvert, can they be successful in selling? Can they be? Yes or no? Yes, they can. Will they be long-term? No way in a million years. They can push themselves to get out of their comfort zone, but people return to their nature. It won't happen. Can you take someone who is, for example, let's say, extroverted, constantly communicating and talking, and can they be successful as an accountant? Yes or no? Can they be? Yes, they can. Will they be? No effing way. Not long-term, because the job won't reinforce their nature. So here's what I've done in my organizations, and my former partner, a man named Chet Holmes, who passed away a couple of years ago, is the one who taught me this. We changed together probably 6 of our companies, grew our businesses 25, some of them 100%, with only one change. Here's our change. How many of you have salespeople? Raise your hand. How many got salespeople? Okay, if you don't have salespeople, it's the first thing, take the back page of your action list and go, I'm going to get them. Because if you don't have sales teams, you're missing one of the pillars of marketing and sales that's critical. And today, you can hire salespeople and have someone else run them. They can live anywhere in the world. They can work on the web. You're crazy if you don't have that. However, if you got salespeople, the quality of your salespeople is everything. And the best way to get quality is to screen like crazy for 2 core elements. And here's the core elements. I can tell you as a minimum, I'm giving you the simple answer. I'm going to give you a quality, deeper answer if you want it. I'm going to give you a gift if you want to take advantage of it. Here's the first one. You need somebody who can deal with rejection, right? That's obvious. If they can't deal with rejection, it's not going to work. So you need someone who has a certain amount of ego strength. But you also need somebody who's warm enough that their ego doesn't get in the way of the personal relationship, so they don't offend people. You need a certain quality of warmth and a certain quality of persistence that no matter what somebody says, they keep on coming. It doesn't hurt them, right? They have to keep coming. Number 5, and this one's critical, constant anticipation of the power of financial and legal analysis. Are any of you pilots by any chance? Anybody here pilots? If you're a pilot and you fly like a single engine plane as a simple example, you can go and fly. Most people can fly when the weather is really nice. In fact, there's a term for it. It's called VFR. It means visual flying rules. It means when the weather's nice, you can fly. But if it's storming and cloudy and you're in a small plane, you get surrounded by clouds or fog, and there is no way to know what way is up except the instruments. And you have to read those instruments accurately because your body will make you think this is upright. People die in bad weather because they get into weather and they don't know how to read their instruments. It is the reason people die in business all the time. They don't need to read the financial instruments. They don't know what's really going, so when it goes really well and it's bright skies, you look like a genius. But when it's in a tough place, you don't have to read the instruments and you're dead. We're going to change that so you never have to worry about that. And the 6th area, which frankly is my favorite, I call this, by the way, the process of optimization or maximization. Optimizing or maximizing your business. And by its principle, it requires no money, or when I say no money out of pocket. Maybe you have to put a few dollars out to do something, but the return is immediate. So it's no real loss. How many follow what I'm talking about here? Say aye. And you can do many of these things with absolutely zero cash. That's what I love about optimization and maximization. The concept is, how do we make micro changes in enough key areas to get a compounded result? And that's doable in people's minds, and it's doable in reality. Combination of the two. Now, the way this is going to work is I want to show you that there are 5 areas of any business you can optimize. First, we're going to get more what? Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get more what? What's the percentage leads? We get it nice and loud. What is it? Who can do this? Raise your hand, say aye. Who could find a way to improve your 2, 4, or more 4-step process by small amounts less than 10%? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 max. Who could do it? Say aye. You don't know how, but you know you could figure a way if you got obsessed about it with your whole team. True? Third thing you can optimize is increase your sales conversion. Get more what? What's the goal? Get more what? Clients. What else could you optimize? Let's go to the 4th section. Increase your what? Transaction value, which means get more what? Who wants to get more money out of every transaction? Say aye. There's other steps you can do to do this by just adding more value, by following up, giving more afterwards. If you give more, you'll get more. So you're just going to make incremental improvements on each. We want to constantly create raving what? We do not want satisfied customers. Satisfied customers will go away when someone else gives them a better offer. Is it true? What you want is a raving fan. If you create a raving fan, that means you're adding more what? Than anybody else. And even if in the moment you're not, for some reason, they'll stay with you, like the Apple people stayed with people at Apple because they knew they were going to find a way. So the only way to make sure you have raving fans long term is create a culture where everybody knows that's our purpose. That everybody knows our reason for being is to make sure our clients are wowed beyond their wildest imagination. That we so far over-deliver that we're legendary in what we do. And Tony Hsieh said 2 things. We can make this work. They said, how are we going to make it work? Women want to try on shoes. He said, well, FedEx them to them. They said, they're not going to want to do that. He goes, we'll pay the shipping. They said, but what if they don't like them? We'll pay the shipping back. Now, everybody on that team said, that is the kiss of death. You will lose so much money you won't be able to stand. He said, you don't understand women. They associate shoes to happiness. You need to trust me on this. And they were losing money like crazy, so they said, screw it. Let's try it. He came up with an irresistible offer. Pick as many shoes as you want. We don't care how many pairs. Take 20 pairs. We'll ship them all to you and we'll pay the shipping, and any ones you want to keep, we'll ship back. He said, we're going to lose money on a few people, but the majority of them are going to take more than they normally would because it's so easy, and they're not going to ship them back. They're going to squeeze into those shoes or find a way. Unless they're horrible, they're not sending them back. And if they do, they're going to want them in another size, and we'll still make money. And by the way, was he right? Your job, my job is, most of us in this room, I think, probably do work Crate Raving fans as individuals. But if you're going to build a business, you got to build a culture that's based on raving fans.